I went to a photography meetup and I took several cameras and multiple lenses, but I ended up just having a really great time with the Nikon Z 14-24 f2.8s and the Nikon Z9. Come with me and check it out. All of the other photographers and the models that I worked with on this day will be in the description below. Often people think of wide-angle primes and wide-angle zooms as landscape lenses, but they make for really fun scenic portraits. This model is Tina, and I find it humorous that our makeup style for the day is ghostly and ghoulish, but she's pregnant and absolutely glowing right now, so we're gonna have to find a way to make her look ghoulish. I think black and white will do. Professional male models are actually a rarity in the Wichita area, and I'm instructing this anomaly to move his foot so I can create some ripples and have a little bit of motion in the shot. As I mentioned, I took 2 cameras and probably 5 lenses, but once I got started with the 14-24, I was just having too much fun taking shots like this. The lens is just so good, it makes you want to break out in song. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure wide-angle greatness. The divine, oh the fine Nikon S line. I love wide angles. No more, sorry. I need to stop goofing off. Notice how I have her lean forward, and that just introduces some shadow to her chest and her collarbone, and it just adds for a little bit of a subtle difference, and sometimes that's all you need. Now, when this particular area that we're shooting was scouted, this was actually full of water, and it was nice and swampy, and it would have been great for a ghoulish look, but instead, we just got kind of a wasteland look, which I'm not totally unhappy about, considering how great the sky looks today. Now let's check out a progression that I designed on the spot. Check out the small little commands and the step-by-step by each frame. Now here we go, one by one. Now let's check out some images that were taken when the DJI Action 2 was not running. This is going to be a quick photo follow-up, but if you are here for the quick photo follow-up, I do appreciate you watching this far. It's quick because I'm just looking at a few images. I honestly couldn't tell you at what points I was using eye tracking and single point autofocus. Generally, I use single point autofocus, but I have been using it lately. It's just with a 14 to 24, I don't have as much luck with the eye tracking. But we're just going to look at the sharpness of the Z9, and this is with textures pulled back. I just realized while looking at the data of this one that this is actually the only image in the video that was not the 14 to 24. This is actually the 50mm f1.2s, and it's at 5.6, 250 ISO. And it's just, God, it's beautiful. This is such a cool image. 5.6 was just barely not enough to get the legs because they're staggered. This one's in front of the focus, which is right here, and this one's a little behind it, so that's okay though. Let's look at this one. This is the 14 to 24. Absolutely wicked. God, that looks good. Wide angle like zooms are not supposed to be this sharp. Looks really, really good. Boom! This is part of the progression. You can go back and watch that progression if you'd like. This one here, let's check this one out. Whoa, 200 or 300 is a little overkill. It is sharp. It is a little bit dirty on my screen, but we've tested ISO, and 500 ISO is not a problem. So this is very close to the model, but it's at 14mm, so it looks like we're far away. Again, slightly grainy on my screen, but we know that's not a problem. Looks really good. The contrast is great. I noticed while I was shooting that I really liked how the flash was lighting up these leaves, and because it was very dark back here, but these leaves were just reflecting that light, and it looks really cool, I think. I mean, the model did a great job. But specifically, something I noticed with all of the pictures in this area, the light bouncing off the leaves just gave it a really cool kind of point of interest besides, you know, the subject itself. It just looks good. Looks good. Nice and contrasty. This, I specifically wanted to do this in black and white. It's not particularly sharp. What was the shot at? 22.5mm, 640 ISO, f5. And so we just kind of missed focus a little bit in here, probably due to it being fairly dark. But I knew whenever I shot this, because her makeup was red, and then we had the fake blood at this point, that, you know, reds come off very, very dark in black and white, and so I knew this was going to look great, like with her lips. Kind of reminds me of like the Munsters, you know, or the Addams Family, like, you know, the black and white. She kind of, it's like a Morticia vibes. But anyway, this is one of my favorite pictures of her, even though it wasn't super duper sharp. And this was probably my favorite image of the entire set. This is also the 50mm f1.2. Of course, I do a 14 to 24, and my favorite pictures of 51 too. What a shocker. You guys know I love that lens. But it's f5.6 and 250 ISO. And it's just scary, right? I was doing a little less than scary with my stuff, just slightly creepy poses here and there and stuff like that. But this one specifically, sun going down, and I actually angled the flash. I had another model hold the flash above her head and had her lean forward, chin down. That way we could get this deep shadow on her face to where you can just barely make out whether she has eyes or not. They just barely come through the white of her eyes. And I just thought this one was the only one that was really intended for me to be like creepy. And it's creepy. I may end up printing this just because it's awesome. That's a wrap of this short photo follow-up, and I'll see you guys later.